Hi all, welcome to Racsinfotech. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create ATP database, autonomous transaction process or autonomous database, autonomous database in OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, using Oracle Free Live Labs. So we can use this our own OCI account, or we can use Oracle Free Live Labs. So these labs are we need to register, and then we can get that access around 1 hour or 2 hours. It depends on the time and the activity which we are selected. Okay, let's get started. For this, now we need prerequisite. Prerequisite prerequisite to do this activity. You should have one cloud account, OCI cloud account. You should have this cloud account, else you can register it. In one of our previous videos, I showed you how to create a Oracle cloud account. Okay, let me show you this. Now, I have my account. Let me cancel this, exit. Yeah, I have the cloud account and I got the user ID and password, and we will get dedicated credentials related to our account. Once you register, you will get those credentials. I'll show you how I have registered is. Let me show you that. So here it is. It is going to show you Live Labs environment. You will get your registered mail ID. Once you clicked on this, my reservations, it will redirect you to Oracle Live Labs things. From there, you can redirect to this part. See, I have booked and registered for this launch workspace or workshop, this thing. Okay, once you launch the workshop, you will get that login info. If you have to click on this login info. Using this information, you can log into cloud console thing. Okay, I just connected to this cloud. This is our home page where you are. From here, you can able to create instances, ATP database instances. Likewise, like clicking on the navigation menu. From the navigation menu, select Oracle databases things. First, we need to do create an instances. So I have assigned this dedicated compartment to my ID. So we have to choose the correct Live Labs related account. If you are choosing different thing, you cannot get the Cloud Shell access. So I have this one is assigned to me. So I selected the correct compartment. Then we need to use this developer tool, right hand side top, developer tool, Cloud Shell. So we need to, first point, we need to, I'll show you, need to connect Oracle Cloud account using the login credentials which we received from the mail. Okay, as I showed you from this tab, here we have a login info, right? From this page, let me paste this page it here. So from this, click on view login info, then you can able to see. For me, it's around 2 hours 43 minutes left. This workshop I have reserved. This is a free of cost, guys. So we no need to pay anything. You just have one cloud account with a free cloud account itself. Then we need to register for this. I'll make another video how we are going to register for these workshops and all. Okay, we need to follow the introduction, everything. First of all, what is OCI? So we can go through it. OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. In this cloud infrastructure, we need to go with the basic core components or core services of OCI. Those are VCN. How to create a VCN? What is VCN? And what is compute service? And what is the storage services? So in this video, it is not required. Get started also, it is very important thing. How you can log in. They have given clear cut information. Once you, this one also you can able to go through it, and then how to register for Live Labs. This is the introduction thing. That is leave it. Now we need to go with lab 1. First lab 1 in 2 hours 42 minutes. I need to go to all these labs. And also these all labs, I'm going to do it on cloud with free of cost. Okay, anybody can able to do this. First one, I need to generate a SSH keys. So to generate SSH keys, we can do it by using keygen tool also. I mean, why we need to generate all these things? To connect your cloud instance, you required one SSH key. So without this key, you cannot connect to the cloud instance. Okay. So now, if I want to generate this SSH keys, let me take this part. First part is this, generate SSH keys. After login, my first lab 1, generate SSH keys. Okay, how we can do? So for that, I have connected to this console. I was there in this. Come on. We need to go to cloud instance. I'm going to cancel this. To generate your SSH keys, you have to log into your cloud console. Here, navigation button, compute, instances. Under instance page, you have to choose your correct compartment. Suppose I have chosen different compartment. Now I'm trying to connect it to the cloud shell. Okay, that is a different compartment and I'm trying to connect it. What it is saying to say is policy missing. So I'm not authorized to generate SSH keys for that compartment. So these SSH keys are authorization is depends upon your compartment level. They have restricted. If you are having own account, you can make it your own. Okay. For me, this ID, this compartment is assigned. Now I'm going to connect it to my cloud cell. This will allow me to connect it because it's a right privilege which I have. Okay, now I have connected to this. Let me check. I don't have anything. I need to create SSH file. Okay, this SSH is already there. First time it is not, it will not be there. I only created just few minutes before. Yes, it is. See, mkdir, then go to SSH. Here we need to generate the keys. Okay, how we are going to generate? Going through this document and follow the step-by-step thing. So after you go through this, by using this command, we can generate the SSH keys. Okay. Paste it, SSH keygen hyphen and give the name of the this SSH thing. Okay, I'll give cloud shell key. Cloud shell SHE. Any name you can give it. I'm giving just this thing. So it is going to create a cloud shell public key and private key thing. The two things it is going to create. If you want to keep the password for this, you can keep it. Now I'm not going to give the password. So it's blank. Now I have created the cloud shell key, public and private key. So this one we need to use it. Okay, temporarily I need to save that key into different notepad. So why we need that? In future, if I want to connect it to this instance, the cloud, this tenancy, not the tenancy compartment, I can use this public key and then I can use it. Let me copy that key to different one, but we can pass it. But anyhow, this will not useful for anyone. It is temporary thing. But in case if you are doing in live in different videos or different scenarios, we should not share this key with anybody. That's it. We have created our public key. That part is completed. Let's see here. We can go ahead and see it. The key has been generated. Now this part, cat the public key and save into your different way. Okay, I have done this part. So generation of SSH keys part is completed. So lab 1 SSH keys part completed. So let me save this. Done. And what are all the commands I used? Let me take it. From the cloud cell itself, we can take. These are all the commands which I used to make all these things. Let me copy and I'll paste it in the document. Okay, that's it. Save it later. Okay, and then you can close this, exit. So Cloud Shell, we can use and do our normal activities. So next one, lab one I have completed. So this is one part, how to generate SSH keys. Lab two, create virtual cloud network, VCN, how to create a VCN in OCI. This is one of the surveys. So if you want to go through the definitions and the data, see here, VCN, if you want to create an instance as load balancers, other things, network parameter, one of the network setup where we are going to use this VCN, okay? We used to have a separate video what is the VCN and other things. Now we can see the how to create a VCN. We need, prerequisites. We required OCI, Oracle Cloud account. Let me write this. For this also, I make one more, one old video also. You can refer that, how to create a VCN. This is lab 2, create a VCN. So let me follow. Okay, they have given the video. As per that video, I need to go ahead and then create. It's very simple thing. Okay, I'll show you. Let me pass this. I don't want to play these things in this channel. Part 2, we are going to see it. Create a virtual lab. I already connected to the compartment. Go to the left-hand side navigation menu to create a VCN. Or else we have this pinned also. They have directly given. Otherwise, you can go through networking. Then here we have VCN, Oracle Cloud, virtual cloud networks. Let me take a print, or else we can take a snap of this. Okay, click on the menus, networking, VCN. Once you click on that part, we used to get here, create VCN. We already have the VCN which is created, and for demo purpose, they have given this. You can create start VCN wizard. Let me take this. We already have existing one which is created by the Oracle itself. It is very important. The compartment which we need to create, that is we need to check start VCN wizard. This one, if you want, we can create this part as well. Let me take this. We already have. If you don't have this, you can create it. This is one kind of way. This is for, if you are creating VCN this part, we need to add all these things, load balancers, all those things. If you can use start VCN wizard, it's very straightforward. And if you want to create anything, internet access fastly, we can able to create it. I'll show you. Start wizard. So we have two options, whether you can go with add internet connectivity site to site, or you can go ahead and then use create VCN. I'm going to choose this option, create this option. Okay, click start VCN wizard. Here we need to provide couple of information. Those are, what is your VCN name? Okay, anything which you want to give, you can give it. In my case, I'm going to go OCI underscore HOL live labs underscore VCN for my understanding purpose. It's kind of, this is one thing. And this compartment, okay, you have to select proper compartment. If you are missing that, by default it is going to give it, but in real time you have to give it proper compartment. Under which compartment you are going to give that part. See here what exactly it is going to do. It is going to create internet IZ, internet gateway. Through internet we can able to access the server. Includes all this information. It is going to create your public subnet, private subnet, IG, NAT gateway, service gateways, everything. So it's a very clear-cut picture what exactly it is going through. So here we have given VCN name. That is one thing. Let me take a diagram. That's very important. Okay, let me take it this part. New. We need to provide the VCN name. Select the compartment. Give the VCN name and select correct compartment. For demo diagram, what exactly the VCN internet connectivity will do, this will help slowly take this diagram. This is important. For understanding purpose, if you want to present the information with your management or high level team, then it will be helpful how the connectivity will happen. Configure VCN, that's by default it's CIDR like VCN IPv4. This will be helpful, and IPv6 we are not going to select. This thing is fine. Okay, all the default values, and this CIDR is 10. If you want to give the public IP instead of this, you can give, these are all the default values, guys. In your environment, if you want to configure, you can give your customized IPs which has been enabled. CIDR configuration private subnet, this is for public, you can keep the same thing, default public, and this is a private subnet. All default values, only you no need to you no need to select anything. Okay, configure VNC thing, that is one. Leave the default values as it is. Public, private, subnets, and then you can click on next. Click on next. Okay, click on next. It is going to create it. So these are all the values. What all the information we have provided? VCN name is this one, compartment name, and the tag is this. I mean, date and time it is going to take. If you want to create, give the your custom name, you can give it for which environment purpose you are going to create. This is a CIDR, main CIDR, public and private subnets. This is public subnet and this is the private subnet. So this is the information where we need to look into it. Then just create it. High level. We are not going to modify anything, just create it. So within 1 or 2 minutes, it is going to complete it. See. Creating resources, show details, authorization failed to restore resource not found. Let me show details, abandoned workflow. Let me check. Why? Because it's already have the VCN. It is not allowing us to create one more VCN, but this is the way how we are going to create the VCN part. Let me give Rags demo. VCN compartment is good. Configuration IPv6. DNS resolution we need to give. We don't need to modify this publics, or we can give 0. Let me make it 2. Private is 1 default. Tags, if you want to make it, as I said, right, if you want to change the tag, Rags demo VCN Wiz. That's it. If you want to give it, otherwise you can leave it that part. Click next. Resource availability check successfully. That's okay. Routing, default routing table, it will be Rags demo VCN. Subnet Rags demo VCN. For all the security list, it is going to create it. Okay, then it is all fine. Let me take a print of this. Click on create. Let me see whether it is going to fail or not. Okay. So for demo on live labs, they already created, so they are not allowing us to create one more VCN. That's where we are unable to create it. But yeah, anyhow, as I said, we are already having VCN. We can use as and when it is required. We can use this VCN. Okay. This part very clear, as I said, right? We can just create any VCN. If you want to create a quick VCN things, else you can click on create VCN. Here you can give Rags demo, live the compartment, that's fine, and select the CIDR, whatever the CIDR options, IPv4 things, you can select it. Okay, What? Okay. IPv4, we don't have any options are not available. So we are not able to, let me 10.0.0.0/16. Add it. It is not taking this part. Okay, leave it that part, no problem. DNS is not going to take it. IPv6 assigning. Let me go with the default thing, how we are going to create it. Just providing these IPs, all right? 10.0.0.0/16. It is not going to take it. I'm not sure why it is not. Yes, now it is. So 10.0.0/16, we are going to use it for CIDR blocks, and the remaining, this is not required. This prefix also not required. Leave it. That only one thing, 10.0.0.0/16, we are going to use for CIDR, allowing that. And once you enter the create VCN, it should compartment name. Okay, I haven't. Vaccine info. Yeah, this is the domain where it is going to pick it up, and this is the CIDR block, and remaining things it should take all the default things. Authorization. So we don't have authorization to create it because it's a live demo. Even I'm unable to create that. That's where, right, they have given only one thing. Leave it this part. As I showed you the snapshots, you can follow the same thing and then you can create it. That's it. Just clicking on the create button, your VCN will be created. For our live demos, they are not allowing us to create a new what I can say, virtual cloud network, VCN. Third one, compute services. Okay. If you want to get all the server, what kind of server you required, instance, bare metal or virtual machine. Okay. So for that, how you are going to do it? I'm going to show you that. These are all just for practice purpose, guys. If you want to make it lab 3, task 1, create a compute instance. It's very, very simple and straightforward. If you want to do that, see here where it is. You have to connect it to your cloud console. This is dashboard, and then go to the navigation menu. They're asking us to create a compute. Okay, this is the compute services. Okay, just click on the instance. Once you created, click on that button, you can create instance. This is one compartment. Like here we have a compartment. By default, it is select. If you want to create a compute service, you have to choose under which compartment you need to create. That is very, very important. Okay. As of now, everything is default because it's a live labs, demo labs. So this is the window. Then click on the create option. Click on the create instance. Instance name, whatever you can create racks instance. Okay. It's a kind of bare metal, or you're going to take it a virtual machine kind of one. And availability domains, default option. These two security has been disabled. It is not unshape. What kind of OS you required? It is going to take it by default Linux. That is fine. If you need AMD processor, you can take, or you can take this thing. Linux operating system, that is fine. Okay. And bare metal, that is VNIC, virtual thing which you want to create, or you want to create VCN, or you can give that. Select the existing VCN, that is fine. That's where, right, if you want to create a compute service on OCI, you need VCN, right? On which network you need to enable this instance, this server where you need to host it. So we already have the existing VCN, that is our compartment name -, selected. Subnets, let me take it from snapshots. Okay, I just given the compute. After you create, you have to give the name, enter the name for compute instance. Done. Then select the compartment that is default, and placement AD, availability domains. If you want to choose on demand. So we have so many cluster things also we are having. So but live demo, it is not acceptable, all these things. On demand capacity. So by default, it is 180. Okay. by default value placements in availability domain 1. That is 1 collapse. Then security, no need to select, and image Oracle Linux image. If you want to change, you can change this image clicking on this. If you want to install Ubuntu, Red Hat, CentOS, Windows, whatever it is. If you want to choose, you can choose. And also it is important to select the compartment. So that is very, very important. Under the compartment, you are going to choose the shape, which image you are going to. Okay, by default, we select the line, this one, Linux. And here is primary VCN we need to select. Under which VCN, virtual cloud network, we are going to create this instance. That is this one. And this is my selecting subnets. Here, no, on cloud, everything is default values and we don't need to select anything. Just here it is important, SSH keys. That's where we have in task lab 1 created the SSH keys, okay, generating key pair. If you want to generate, you can generate. If you have a public key, you can use that public key and then use this thing, browse the public key and then paste the public keys. We can paste that. I have copied that public key here. Let me use that from here to lift and copy. I'm pasting that SSH key. That's it. That's where we need to create SSH keys. We need to create in locally, or we can create by using this Cloud Shell as well. This is one important thing. Okay. Remaining all the informations are default. You don't need to create anything. You don't need to do anything. Boot volume, we are not going to select anything. It's a default value. Block volumes also not required. Just create it. Okay. Select on the create. Click on create. Once you've done that, it is going to take creating the instance for you, like compute instance. On that instance, you can install whatever the application you need, whatever the database services you require, you can install it. Okay, this is the machine where we are going to configuring on our cloud network. So this is what initially it is going to provisioning state. Capacity is on, see here, virtual cloud network is loading. So almost done. This is in progress status. So let me go to this. Yes, our instance is running now. If you want to go back, done. Instances, see here, Rax instance we have created. This instance you can use to create or install your applications or databases. It has been taken all the basic information, one availability domain, one fault domain. Okay. Or failover domain you can take. Memory is 16 GB, OCP 1 CPU it took. That's it. If you want to connect to this machine outside, that also we can able to do that. Connect to, creating the compute instance task 1 under lab 3 is finished. Now we can use connect to the instance. How to connect? So if you want to connect that instance, you can use this option SSHI. This one, very, very important. SSH-I private key. We need to use the private key. Then OPC. Okay. Space OPC at the rate. We need to give the public, or we can use directly with, I'll give you one thing here. Let me connect to that server local from my local machine. Either way we can do that. This is a public IP where we are going to connect it. Okay. Take this OPS OPC at the rate IP address. 1 second. IP address at the rate OPC. For this, we need to loop. If you have auth X11 internal, let me import the key here and then we can able to access it. We cannot able to connect this instance from outside of this because of the restrictions which they have enabled. Okay, but we can connect it this instance, this server using Cloud Shell thing. So we need to connect. We have this activity to So they're asking us to go to our Cloud Shell and use this command to connect it. So we need to take a public IP from the instance which we have created. This is our instance. Go to instance details. Here it is the public. Okay, this is the public one. Copy to your notepad. Okay, no problem. Let me take notepad. This is our public IP which we have created right now. And username to connect to that is OPC is our username. OPC is our username. Then generate this one, copy it, paste into here. So enter public IP address. Give this public IP address. Here is your private key, which you have saved earlier. Okay, if you don't have, we will get it right now also. That is another way we can generate it. I'll take it from. So for that, we need to connect it to Cloud Shell. Here it is from our instance, Cloud Shell. Take the key from the server itself. Private key we need to take. Okay, this is our private key from begin to end. Copy, then paste it. Take this completely. How they have guided us. According to that, we can go ahead and then connect it. See here, public IP, go to there, or you can give the file name directly instead of copy paste all those things. So it's very simple way. It's very difficult for anyone, right? Very simple thing. So ls clear thing. So where we have this one is our private key. Copy, paste. From there, we can connect it to this instance. Paste it. You can give first time anything. It is going to ask you connected to this instance. Yes. Permission denied. Public key. There is an issue with the public key thing. Okay. See, it is public IP copied. CD SSH. SSH-9. Permanently added. That should add into this Cloud Shell thing, right? Okay. Let me check this. Cloud Shell key SSH. Let me, where I am, correct only. Known host, cat, known host. It has been added actually, this thing. This IP was added, 192 and this thing. Let me check this IP. 192.9, 185 has been added. Let me check. 192.9 has been added. So this IP, it's added under the known host. Earlier, this was not there. So df-kh. This is the instance where we need to install anything, whatever the software you required, you can able to install those things. Okay. These are all the history commands I can take. This is the way how we need to connect it. Instance. Let me remove this part. Okay. But if we are using own lab, right, there we have an access from our local machine also, we can able to connect it. I'll show you in our next lab. There I can use my own, this is a lab which I got from the this live labs, free live labs. They have certain kind of limitations. They are not going to allow us to do all those things. Okay. That is one thing. Lab 2 virtual machine is then, compute is then. If you want to add a block volume, and if you want to do some extra storage, if you want to do block volume services, that also we can do it. But as of now, I don't want to show this part. This is not required. I just want to show you how to connect to this console and how to generate the SSH keys, how to create a VCN and how to create a compute node. That's all about this video. So I'll post these snapshots in my blog. Okay, let me save it. Desktop. Okay, leave it. In my blog, Anjani Apps DBA. In this blog, I'm going to post those things. You can go through it if you need any, if you have any doubts also. Okay, I'll give you this blog link in our video description. Okay, guys, thank you.